Hi there, students. Welcome to week 10. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. Today is March 18th. This is the very last day to take the midterm exam. So it's very, very important. If you haven't done it, you need to get it done by the end of today. So you need to get to a testing center and take that exam. Okay? Um, and this has been announced for several weeks, so there's been plenty of warning. And so I really need you to take that exam today. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the webcam and talk about this week. All right. So, students, we're in week 10 out of 16, so we are really moving along, getting closer and closer to the end of the semester, and I hope that you're all doing well. This is the time, the next couple weeks are going to be pretty busy, so just keep working steadily and you'll be okay. Those of you that are behind, it's very, very important that you try to catch up because it gets harder and harder as time passes. Also remember my policy that I announced at the beginning of the semester that, homework is due at the end of the day, Sunday, in the week that it's assigned, but I don't mark things 0 for 3 weeks. So that's a little bit of a buffer time for you to catch up, but I don't recommend staying 3 weeks behind because it gets harder and harder to catch up as time goes on. All right, and so let's look at week 10. Week 10 is going to be similar to past weeks, and you can see that there is quite a bit of work to do this week. So you do want to pace yourself through the week and try to, get things completed. We're going to start learning about inferences this week, and this is important because this concept of inferences, first of all, it's important because it does appear on your final exam, but also this is an important thing to learn in any language, right? In any context of life, whether it's work or friendship or hobbies, clubs, organizations that we're involved in, people don't always say things directly. They sometimes imply or infer things. And so it's really important that you begin to understand how to identify inferences in English, which is the language that we're working with. So just make sure that you're paying attention to that concept. Okay, so let's see what there is. First, there's a quiz, okay, of some words that you have learned, and it tells you to review and then take the quiz. Again, remember, don't want to skip quizzes because, they're worth something. Like this one's worth 20 points, so make sure you do that. Then we're going to get into the idea of relationships between ideas when you're reading. Okay, so you're going to go to 10 steps, okay, and you're going to take these alternative mastery tests 1 and 2, and the same thing for 7. So this is sort of reviewing some of the things that you've been studying in 10 steps. So if you didn't do last week's work yet, you may want to do that before getting to here. And then we have comprehension. Now we're getting into the inferences. So again, you're going to go to 10 steps, chapter 8, inferences. So make sure that you read the information and watch the PowerPoint, right? Follow along in your book. That's how you are going to learn the information. And then you're going to do these exercises and mastery tests worth a total of 40 points. So you can see, like, if I look just at these first 3 assignments, there's 20 points here, 40 points here, that's 60, another 40 points. There's 100 points just in those first 3 items, so it's important to work your way through them. The reading rates, we're continuing with the speed reading journal, okay? And as I always have said in previous weeks, don't skip a step, right? Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't miss anything, right? Because somewhere in the middle of it here, look at this. There's a quiz in step 3, right? So you don't want to skip that. And in order to do step 6, you have to have completed steps 1 through 5. So always read directions as carefully as you can. All right, next are our word cards. I will assign names. We're doing chapter 8 now, so we've got some new words to do. Then you have your vocabulary academic word assignment, which don't forget, most of you are right on top of it, but don't forget your, after you do the work in the book, okay, and you go to BVS, watch the presentation, do your vocabulary games. All this is great practice to help you learn your words. Don't forget the online activities at Townsend Press before you do 5, which is the assignment. Okay, 8.6 is a summary revision. So I would recommend waiting a little bit. It's going to take me a day or two because I need to grade your midterms after today because today's the last day. So I'm going to grade midterms first. Then I will get to the summaries that you wrote, okay? So I would wait until the end of the week and you can see my feedback before you do this revision of the summary that you wrote last week, okay? So this one you can kind of put off a little bit toward the end of the week. But discussion board is Giver, okay? We're reading 3 new chapters. Okay, don't forget, like I always say, and I said earlier, read each step, follow each step, right? First is read the question, so it gives you something to think about. The reason we do this is it aids your comprehension. If you have specific questions in your mind as you read, you have information that you're looking for. So it's basically setting up your brain to try to answer the questions through the reading process. So all you have to do is just quickly read through the questions so they're there in your mind. Then go to this link and study the vocabulary. Then read. Okay, and those steps are there to make the reading as easier. Okay, it may still be difficult for some of you, but these steps are disciplines that we put into place to help you. So do those things and they will help. Then you're going to go to the discussion board and answer questions. Notice the instructions. Excuse me. You're going to answer 1 question about chapter 15, 2 about 16, and 1 about 17. So a total of 4 questions. And then don't forget, at some point you need to read your classmates' posts as well and respond to them. Okay, and a couple of things to remind you about in general. So now notice when you answer the questions here about the chapters, you want to answer 2 to 3 full sentences each. Okay, try to use academic vocabulary and add the pages where you found the answer. Okay, so those are in your answers. Okay, 2 to 3 sentences for each question. Okay, fully explain. And I have absolutely no problem with you using the book. That's what it's for. You look at your book, but try to put your answers in your words. Okay, that's pushing yourself a little bit, a little bit more, getting yourself further along the line in your academic studies. Okay, not just copying directly from the book, but answering the question in your own words from the book. That's why you put the page numbers, so I can go and check and see what you were looking at. Also, when you respond to your classmates, 2 to 3 full sentences. Explain if you agree or disagree with the other student. Make comments, ask follow-up questions. Be specific and detailed. Make it into a conversation about the book, okay? All right, students, I think that's everything.